Tae-Wan stood in the waiting area of the largest veterinary clinic on Station Nexus 7. He held his medical bag tight in his hands. The bag was old and worn from years of use back on Earth. Around him, dozens of alien species moved through the bright white corridors. Some walked on 2 legs, others on 4 or 6. Some had fur, some had scales, and some looked like they were made of crystal or metal. He had been waiting for 3 hours to meet with the head veterinarian. His assistant, Hyun, sat beside him. She was young and nervous. This was her first job off Earth. "Do you think they will hire us?" Hyun asked quietly. "I hope so," Tae-Wan said. "We came a long way." The truth was he needed this job badly. When Earth joined the Galactic Council 2 years ago, everything changed. Humans were the new species in a very old galaxy. Most aliens thought humans were primitive and simple. Getting respect was hard. Getting work was harder. Finally, a tall alien with blue skin and 4 arms walked toward them. His name was Dr. Velthar. He was a Velkari, a species known across the galaxy for their advanced medicine and science. "You are the human veterinarian?" Velthar asked. His voice sounded like he was speaking through water. "Yes, sir. I am Dr. Tae-Wan Kim. This is my assistant, Hyun." Velthar looked at them for a long moment. "Your species has only been treating animals for a few thousand years. We have been doing this for over 50,000. What makes you think you can work here?" Tae-Wan felt his face get hot, but he kept his voice calm. "I have worked with many different species of animals on Earth. I learn fast, and I care about helping creatures in pain." Velthar made a sound that might have been a laugh. Caring, how primitive. He turned to walk away. "You may observe our work, but do not touch anything. Do not speak to the patients, and stay out of the way." It was not the job Tae-Wan wanted, but it was better than nothing. He and Hyun followed Velthar into the main treatment area. The room was huge and filled with strange equipment that hummed and glowed. Medical beds of different sizes lined the walls. Some were small, others were as big as a truck. They watched as Velthar and his team worked on various alien creatures. A small flying creature with rainbow wings got medicine for a broken wing. A large slug-like animal received treatment for an infected wound. The work was impressive. The technology was amazing. But Tae-Wan noticed something. The alien doctors never spoke to their patients. They never touched them gently. Everything was done with machines and tools from a distance. "It is so cold here," Hyun whispered to him. "They treat the animals like broken machines." Tae-Wan nodded. He felt the same way. Suddenly, alarms began to sound throughout the clinic. Red lights flashed on the walls. Velthar's head turned sharply toward the entrance. "Emergency incoming," he said. "Everyone prepare." A human woman ran through the doors. She wore the uniform of a cargo ship captain. Her face was covered in sweat and her eyes were wide with fear. Behind her, 2 medical robots carried a large containment box on a floating platform. "Please, you have to help," the woman said. "My Ralketh is hurt bad. Real bad." Tae-Wan looked at her name tag. Captain Jiwoo Park, another human. Another Korean name so far from home. Velthar approached the containment box and looked at the scanner screen. His face changed. "A Ralketh? You brought a Ralketh into my clinic?" "Please," Jiwoo begged. "He is hurt. We had an accident during loading. A cargo crate fell on his leg. I think it is broken." Velthar shook his head. "Ralketh are from the Outer Rim. They are extremely dangerous predators. When they are in pain, they attack anything near them. I cannot risk my staff or my clinic." "But he will die," Jiwoo said. Tears ran down her face. "Please. I saved him from poachers 5 years ago. He has been with me ever since. He is not just an animal. He is my friend." "Then you should have been more careful," Velthar said coldly. "I suggest you take him to the euthanasia center on level 40. Jiwoo fell to her knees. She covered her face with her hands and cried. Tae-Wan felt something tight in his chest. He looked at the containment box. Through the transparent side, he could see the creature inside. The Ralketh looked like a wolf, but much bigger. It had dark fur and sharp teeth. Its eyes were yellow and filled with pain and fear. One of its back legs was twisted at a wrong angle. The creature saw him looking. It growled. The sound was deep and threatening. But Tae-Wan had worked with scared animals his whole life. He knew the difference between a threat and a cry for help. "I can help," Tae-Wan said. Everyone turned to look at him. Velthar's face showed surprise, then amusement. "You, a human? You think you can treat a Ralketh?" "I can try," Tae-Wan said. "You will die," Velthar said simply. "Ralketh have killed experienced handlers. They have killed trained soldiers. A primitive human veterinarian will not last 5 seconds. Taiwan walked closer to the containment box. The Ralketh watched him. Its growl got louder. Foam dripped from its mouth. The creature was terrified and in terrible pain. Taiwan, no, Hyun said. Her voice shook. Please do not do this, but Taiwan was not listening. He had made his decision. He pressed the button to open the containment box. The door slid up with a hiss. The Ralketh immediately tried to stand, but its broken leg made it fall. It snarled and showed all its teeth. Every alien in the room stepped back. Some ran for the exits. Taiwan got down on his knees. He made himself small and non-threatening. He kept his movements slow and gentle. The Ralketh backed into the corner of its box, still growling. Easy, buddy, Taiwan said softly. His voice was calm and steady. I know it hurts. I know you are scared. Easy now, the Ralketh stopped growling. Its ears moved forward, listening to the sound of his voice. That is right, Taiwan continued. I am not going to hurt you. I want to help. But you have to let me. Can you do that, buddy? The room was completely silent. Everyone watched. No one breathed. Slowly, very slowly, Taiwan reached out his hand. He did not reach for the creature. He just held his hand out in the air, letting the Ralketh see it was empty and open. Do not, Velthar shouted. The Ralketh lunged forward. Everyone gasped. Jiwoo screamed, but the creature did not attack. Instead it collapsed. Its massive head fell near Taiwan's open hand. The Ralketh made a small, sad sound. It was whimpering. Taiwan gently placed his hand on the creature's head. He felt the warm fur under his fingers. The Ralketh closed its yellow eyes. Good, buddy, Taiwan whispered. You are going to be okay. I promise. He turned to look at Velthar. The alien doctor stood with his mouth open in shock. I will need your surgical suite, Taiwan said calmly. And Hyun, please prepare for emergency orthopedic surgery. Hyun ran to get the equipment. Her hands shook, but her face was determined. Velthar stared at Taiwan. For the first time, the proud alien doctor had nothing to say. He simply nodded and led the way to the surgical room. Captain Jiwoo followed behind them. She was still crying, but now they were tears of hope. As they moved through the clinic, other doctors and medical staff came out to watch. Word was spreading fast. A human had just done something impossible. A human had calmed a Ralketh with nothing but a gentle voice and kind words. Taiwan walked beside the floating platform that carried the Ralketh. He kept his hand on the creature's head the whole time. He kept talking in his soft, steady voice. Easy, buddy. We are almost there. You are doing so good. Just stay with me. And the Ralketh, a creature known throughout the galaxy as one of the most dangerous predators in space, stayed calm under the touch of a simple human veterinarian who refused to give up on a scared animal in pain. Part 2, the surgical suite, was the most advanced room Taiwan had ever seen. The walls glowed with soft blue light. Dozens of robotic arms hung from the ceiling, each one designed for a different type of surgery. Medical scanners floated in the air like silver fish. Velthar stood by the door with his forearms crossed. His blue face showed no emotion, but his eyes watched everything Taiwan did. A crowd of alien doctors and nurses pressed against the observation window. They had never seen anything like this before. Hyun prepared the surgical tools with shaking hands. She had helped Taiwan with many surgeries back on Earth, but never with an alien creature. Never with something that could kill them both in one bite. Are you sure about this? She whispered to Taiwan. No, Taiwan said honestly, but we have to try. The Ralketh lay on the surgical table. Its breathing was fast and shallow. The broken leg hung at a terrible angle. Taiwan could see the bone pushing against the skin from inside. The creature needed surgery immediately or it would die. I need anesthesia, Taiwan said. Something that will put him to sleep for the surgery. Velthar touched a control panel on the wall. A screen appeared showing the Ralketh's body chemistry. This is the problem, Velthar said. Ralketh have a unique nervous system. Too much anesthesia will stop their heart. Too little, and they will wake up during surgery. And if they wake up during surgery, they will kill everyone in the room, Taiwan finished. He understood now why Velthar had refused to help. Taiwan studied the numbers on the screen. He had treated wolves, bears, and large cats back on Earth. The Ralketh's body was different but not completely alien. He could see patterns, similarities, the way muscles connected to bones, the way the nervous system branched through the body. Give me the anesthesia at 70% of the recommended dose, Taiwan said. That is too low, Velthar said. The creature will feel pain. It will wake up. Trust me, Taiwan said. Velthar stared at him for a long moment. Then he programmed the medical computer. A thin needle extended from one of the robotic arms and injected the Ralketh. The creature's breathing slowed. Its eyes closed. Taiwan placed his hand on the Ralketh's side. He could feel the heartbeat under the fur, strong but irregular. The creature was fighting the pain even in sleep. Hyun, I need you to monitor the vital signs. If the heart rate goes above 150 or below 80, tell me immediately. Yes, doctor, Hyun said. She positioned herself at the monitoring station, her eyes locked on the screens. Taiwan began the surgery. He worked carefully, cleaning the wound first. The skin was tougher than earth animals, but his tools could cut through it. He exposed the broken bone. It was shattered in 3 places. I need the bone fusion laser, Taiwan said, and some kind of internal support structure. Hyun handed him the tools. This was alien technology, far beyond anything they had on Earth. But Taiwan understood the basic principle. The laser would fuse the bone pieces together. The support structure would hold everything in place while it healed. He worked slowly and precisely. Every movement had to be perfect. One mistake could cripple the creature forever. Behind the observation window, the crowd of aliens watched in complete silence. 30 minutes into the surgery, Hyun's voice broke the silence. Doctor, the heart rate is climbing. 120, 130, 140. Taewon looked at the monitors. The Ralketh's brainwaves were changing. It was starting to wake up. More anesthesia, Belthar said quickly. Now, or it will kill you. No, Taewon said. More could stop its heart. Just give me a minute. A minute? It will wake in seconds. The Ralketh's eyelids began to flutter. A low growl came from its throat. Its muscles tensed. Yun stepped back from the table, fear on her face. The alien doctors behind the glass moved away from the window, but Taewon did not panic. He set down his tools. He placed both hands on the Ralketh's side, right over its heart. He leaned close to its ear. Stay with me, buddy, he said softly. I know it hurts. I know you want to wake up. But I need you to sleep just a little longer. Can you do that for me? Just a little longer, and then you will feel so much better. I promise. The Ralketh's eyes opened halfway. For a moment, the yellow eyes stared right at Taewon. Then, impossibly, the creature's breathing slowed. The growl stopped. The eyes closed again. Heart rate dropping, Hyun said in amazement. 120, 110, 100. It is stabilizing. Behind the observation window, the crowd of aliens began talking all at once. Velthar stood frozen, all 4 of his arms hanging limp at his sides. Taewon picked up his tools and continued working. His hands were steady. He fused the bone pieces together one by one. He installed the support structure. He closed the muscle and skin with careful stitches. 2 hours later, the surgery was complete. The Ralketh's leg was straight and properly aligned. The wound was clean and sealed. Taewon stepped back from the table, exhausted. It is done, he said quietly. The door to the surgical suite burst open. Captain Jiwoo ran in, followed by what looked like half the station's population. Everyone wanted to see the impossible surgery. Is he okay? Jiwoo asked. Her voice was full of hope and fear. He will need time to heal, Taewon said. The bone will take several weeks to fully fuse. He should not put weight on that leg for at least a month. But yes, he will be okay. Jiwoo covered her mouth with her hands. Tears ran down her face again, but these were tears of joy. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. Velthar walked slowly toward Taewon. The tall alien looked at the sleeping Ralketh, then at the monitoring equipment showing all the vital signs normal and stable. Then he looked at Taewon. How did you know it would respond to you? Velthar asked. When it was waking up, how did you know your voice would calm it? Taewon pulled off his surgical gloves. He was tired, but he felt good. He had saved a life today. That was all that mattered. I did not know, Taewon said honestly, but I knew it needed someone to try. Sometimes that is enough. Velthar was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. I have been a veterinarian for 70 years. I have studied at the finest medical academies in the galaxy. I have treated thousands of species. But I have never seen anything like what you just did. It is not about technology, Taewon said. It is about trust. That creature trusted me to help it, not hurt it. That is what made the difference. Hyun walked over and stood beside Taiwan. She looked proud and relieved. What he does not say is that he has been doing this his whole life. He has always had a gift with animals. Any animal. It does not matter where they come from. Velthar looked at both of them. You said you needed a job. You said you wanted to work here. Yes, Taiwan said. Then you are hired, Velthar said. Both of you. Starting immediately. Hyun let out a small sound of joy and grabbed Taiwan's arm. But, Velthar continued, I want to learn from you. I want to understand how you do what you do. Is that acceptable? Taiwan smiled. It was the first time he had smiled in weeks. Yes, I would like that. The Ralketh stirred on the table. Its eyes opened slowly. It saw Taiwan standing there and made a soft sound. Not a growl. Something gentler. Almost like a purr. Taiwan reached out and scratched behind the creature's ear. Good buddy, he said. You did so good, rest now. Everything is going to be okay. Captain Jiwoo walked to the other side of the table. She placed her hand on her companion's head. The Ralketh looked at her and its tail moved slightly, trying to wag. Thank you, Jiwoo said to Taiwan. You gave me my friend back. I will never forget this. 3 months had passed since Taiwan saved the Ralketh. The story had spread across the entire station and beyond. Ships arriving from distant systems brought news that people were talking about the human veterinarian, who could calm the most dangerous creatures with just his voice. The clinic was busier than ever. Every day brought new patients. Every day brought new challenges. Taiwan stood in examination room 7, looking at a creature unlike anything he had seen before. It was small, about the size of a cat, but it seemed to be made entirely of living crystal. Light passed through its body and created rainbow patterns on the walls. The owner was a crystalline species named Var. She wrung her multiple hands together nervously. 3 other veterinarians refused to treat her, Var said. They said she is too fragile. One wrong touch and she could shatter into 1,000 pieces. Taiwan knelt down to look at the crystal creature more closely. It was beautiful. He could see tiny cracks running through part of its body. Some kind of internal damage. What is her name? Taiwan asked. Shimmer, Var said. Hello, Shimmer, Taiwan said softly. The crystal creature turned toward his voice. She made a sound like wind chimes. I am going to help you, okay? But I need to touch you very gently. Is that okay? Hyun stood nearby with a tray of medical tools. She had learned so much in the past 3 months. She was no longer the nervous assistant who had arrived on the station. Now she could handle most routine cases on her own. Should I prepare the molecular sealer? Hyun asked. Not yet, Taiwan said. First, I need to understand what is wrong. He reached out with one finger and touched Shimmer very lightly. The crystal was warm. He could feel a faint vibration, like a heartbeat, but faster. Much faster. For 6 hours, Taiwan worked on Shimmer. He could not use anesthesia because it might change her crystalline structure. He could not use robotic tools because they were too heavy and rough. Instead, he worked with his hands using tiny tools, speaking constantly to keep Shimmer calm and still. When he was done, the cracks were sealed. Shimmer's internal light glowed brighter and more evenly. She made her wind chime sound again, but this time it sounded happy. Var cried tears that sparkled like diamonds. Thank you. Thank you. No one else would even try. The next day brought a different case. A large predator from the jungle world of Karis had attacked anyone who came near it. It was in a cage in the quarantine area, snarling and throwing itself against the bars. It has been like this for 5 days, the owner explained. He was a merchant who traded in exotic animals. I cannot sell it like this. And I cannot release it. It is too dangerous. Velthar stood beside Taiwan observing. The alien doctor came to watch every difficult case now. He was trying to learn the humans' methods, but he still did not fully understand. You cannot go in there, Velthar said. Look at it. It is completely wild. It is scared, Taiwan said. Not wild, scared. How can you tell the difference? Watch its eyes, Taiwan said. See how it keeps looking at the exit? It does not want to fight. It wants to run. It is trapped and terrified. Taiwan entered the cage. The creature roared and charged at him. But Taiwan did not run. He stood still and turned his body sideways, making himself look smaller and less threatening. The creature stopped a meter away, confused. I am not going to hurt you, Taiwan said, and I am not going to let anyone else hurt you either. You are safe now. It took 3 days. 3 days of sitting in that cage, talking softly, moving slowly, showing the creature that he was not a threat. On the 4th day, the creature let Taewon touch it. On the 5th day, it ate food from his hand. The merchant was amazed. "I have never seen anything like this. How much do I owe you?" "Nothing," Taewon said. "But I want you to promise me something. This creature needs a proper home, not a cage, not a show. A real home with space and respect. Can you find that?" The merchant nodded. "I know a sanctuary on the 4th moon of Karis. They will treat it well." But not everyone was happy about Taewon's success. Some of the other veterinarians felt threatened. They had spent decades building their reputations. Now a human with primitive methods was making them look bad. Belthar himself struggled with mixed feelings. He respected what Taewon could do, but it challenged everything he had been taught. Technology was supposed to be the answer to all problems. Advanced science was supposed to be superior to simple emotion. One evening, Velthar found Taewon in the break room. The human sat alone, eating a simple meal from Earth, rice and vegetables. "May I speak with you?" Velthar asked. "Of course," Taewon said. He gestured to the chair across from him. Velthar sat down. His forearms folded in a way that suggested discomfort. "I need to understand something. You have no advanced training in xenobiology. You have never studied at a galactic medical academy. Your equipment is basic. Your methods are simple. Yet you succeed where we fail. Why?" Taewon put down his food. "Can I ask you something first?" "Yes. When you treat a patient, what do you see?" Velthar thought about this. "I see a biological system. Organs, bones, blood chemistry. I see what is broken and how to fix it." "That is the difference," Taewon said gently. "When I look at a patient, I see a person. Someone who is scared or in pain. Someone who needs help and kindness. The medical part comes second. But they are animals," Velthar said. "Not people." "Are they?" Taewon asked. "They feel fear. They feel pain. They feel love and trust. How is that different from people?" Velthar had no answer. He sat in silence for a long time. Finally, Hyun entered the break room. She looked worried. "Taewon, we have a problem. A big problem. What is wrong?" "There is a creature coming in from the quarantine sector. A droll beast. It has been exposed to some kind of spatial anomaly. The anomaly damaged its brain. Now it is violent and unpredictable. It already killed 2 handlers during transport." Velthar stood up quickly. "A droll beast? Those are even more dangerous than Ralketh. And this one has brain damage. It should be euthanized immediately." "That is what the authorities want to do," Hyun said. "But the creature's owner is begging for someone to try to save it. She said she heard about you, Taewon. She said if anyone can help, it is you." Taewon felt his stomach tighten. He had heard of droll beasts. They were massive predators, stronger and more aggressive than anything on Earth. And this one had brain damage that made it even more dangerous. "When will it arrive?" he asked. "Tomorrow morning," Hyun said. Velthar turned to Taewon. "You cannot do this. I have seen your work. It is remarkable. But this is different. This creature is psychotic. It will kill you." "Maybe," Taewon said quietly. "But maybe not. I need to at least try." "Why?" Velthar asked, genuinely confused. "Why risk your life for a creature that probably cannot be saved?" Taewon looked at the alien doctor. "Because somewhere in that damaged brain there is still a living being that is suffering, and no one else will help it. If I do not try, who will?" Hyun sat down next to Taewon. "I will help you," she said firmly. "Whatever you need." Velthar looked at both of them. These humans were either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. Perhaps both. But there was something in their determination that he found himself admiring. "I will prepare the containment room," Velthar said, "and I will have medical teams standing by. But Taewon, I am asking you as a colleague and as someone who has come to respect you. Please be careful. The galaxy needs more people like you. It would be a shame to lose you tomorrow." Taewon nodded. "I will be careful. I promise." That night, Taewon could not sleep. He lay in his quarters thinking about the droll beast, thinking about what he might face tomorrow. He had treated dangerous animals before. But this was different. This was a creature whose mind was broken, a creature that could not think clearly or control its actions. Could his voice really reach something like that? Could kindness and patience work on a brain that had been damaged by forces beyond understanding? He did not know. But tomorrow he would find out. Tomorrow would be the biggest challenge of his life, and possibly the last. The containment room was the strongest on the entire station. It had walls made of reinforced metal 3 meters thick. The door required 5 security codes to open. Inside, a force field could be activated instantly if anything went wrong. Taiwan stood outside and watched through the observation window as they brought in the Drawl beast. It took 6 security officers and 2 medical robots to move the containment unit. Even through the thick metal walls, he could hear the creature inside, roaring, screaming. The sound was not just angry. It was full of pain and confusion. Beside him stood a human security commander named Junho Lee. He was tall and muscular, with scars on his face from years of dangerous work. His hand rested on his weapon. "Dr. Kim," Junho said, "I have orders to protect you, but I also have orders to shoot that creature if it attacks. I will not let it kill you." "I understand," Taewon said, "but please give me a chance first." "Do not shoot unless you absolutely have to." Junho nodded slowly. "I will do my best, but I am coming in with you. Non-negotiable." They placed the containment unit in the center of the room and opened it remotely. The Drawl beast stumbled out. It was enormous, twice the size of a bear from Earth. Its fur was thick and dark, but strange crystalline growths pushed through the skin all over its body. The crystals glowed with an unnatural light. The creature looked around wildly. Its eyes were unfocused. It saw things that were not there. It snapped at empty air. It crashed into the walls. Blood dripped from where the crystals had pushed through its skin. Hyun watched from the control room, monitoring every vital sign. "Its neural activity is completely chaotic," she said over the speaker. "The spatial anomaly destroyed part of its brain. It cannot process what it is seeing or feeling." Velthar stood beside her, his forearms crossed. "This is madness. That creature is beyond help. It should be put down humanely." "Wait," Hyun said firmly. "Just wait. If anyone can reach it, Taewon can." Taewon took a deep breath. "I am ready," he said to Junho. The door opened with a heavy sound. Taewon and Junho stepped inside. The door closed behind them with a boom that echoed through the room. The Drawl beast turned toward them. For a moment it just stared. Then it roared and charged. Junho raised his weapon, but Taewon grabbed his arm. "Wait!" The creature came at them like a freight train. At the last second, Taewon did something strange. He did not run. He did not try to dodge. He simply stood still and spoke. "Easy, buddy," he said. His voice was calm and steady. "I know you are scared. I know it hurts." The Drawl beast stopped so suddenly it almost fell. It stood 3 meters away, breathing heavily. Its head moved from side to side, confused. In its damaged brain, the voice was something new, something it could focus on. "That is right," Taewon continued. "Listen to my voice. Everything around you is confusing and scary, but my voice is steady. My voice is safe. You can trust it." The creature circled them slowly. Its eyes tried to focus on Taewon but kept sliding away, distracted by things only it could see. In the control room, everyone held their breath. Velthar watched the monitors showing the beast's brain activity. "This is impossible," he whispered. "Its neural patterns are stabilizing." Just from his voice, Taewon kept talking. For 20 minutes, he stood perfectly still and spoke in that same calm, gentle voice. He told the creature it was safe. He told it he was there to help. He told it over and over that everything would be okay. Slowly, impossibly, the Drawl beast began to calm. Its breathing slowed. Its movements became less erratic. "I am going to come closer now," Taewon said. "Just a little bit closer. Is that okay?" He took one small step forward. The beast tensed but did not attack. "Good, buddy. That is so good." Another step. "You are doing great. I'm so proud of you." Step by step, Taewon moved closer. Each time he waited. Each time he spoke. Each time he let the creature adjust to his presence. Finally, he was close enough to touch it. He could see the crystalline growths more clearly now. They were not part of the creature's body. They were foreign objects, pushed into its flesh by the spatial anomaly, and they were pressing on nerves and muscles, causing constant pain. "These crystals are hurting you," Taewon said. "I need to take them out. But I cannot use medicine to make you sleep. The damage to your brain makes it too dangerous. You will have to stay awake while I work. It will hurt. But I need you to trust me. Can you do that?" The Drawl beast made a low sound. Not a growl. Something softer. It was the first normal sound the creature had made since the anomaly damaged it. Hyun's voice came over the speaker. Taewon, this is crazy. You cannot do surgery on a conscious droll beast. It will kill you the moment you cause pain. I know the risks, Taewon said, but there is no other way. Hyun, I need you to pass me the surgical tools through the access port, one at a time. Junho stood ready, his weapon still in his hand. Doctor, I strongly advise against this. Noted, Taewon said. He reached out slowly and touched the first crystal. The droll beast flinched and growled. I know it hurts. But I have to do this. Trust me, buddy. Just trust me. What happened next would be talked about on Station Nexus 7 for years to come. For 3 hours, Taewon worked on the conscious droll beast. He removed the crystals one by one. Each removal caused pain. Each time the beast tensed and snarled. Its massive claws scraped the floor. Its teeth showed, but it never attacked. Taewon talked the entire time. He explained what he was doing. He apologized for the pain. He thanked the creature for trusting him. His voice never changed. It stayed calm and gentle and steady. You are the bravest buddy I have ever met, Taewon said as he removed the last crystal. This one is big. It is going to hurt more than the others. I am so sorry. But it is the last one. Just one more and then you will feel so much better. The droll beast made a sound that was almost like a whimper. Taewon pulled. The crystal came free. Blood flowed from the wound. The creature threw back its head and roared. The sound shook the walls. Junho aimed his weapon ready to fire, but the droll beast did not attack. Instead, it collapsed. Its huge body fell to the floor with a thud. It breathed heavily, exhausted from the pain and the effort of controlling itself. Taewon knelt beside it and placed both hands on its side. You did it, he said. Tears ran down his face. You did so good, buddy. I am so proud of you. The pain will get better now. I promise. The creature's eyes finally focused. For the first time since the anomaly, it could see clearly. It looked at Taewon. Really looked at him. Then it did something no one expected. It moved its massive head and gently pressed it against Taewon's chest. Taewon wrapped his arms around the creature's head and hugged it. He sat there on the floor of the containment room holding a beast that should have killed him and cried. In the control room, Hyun was also crying. Even Velthar looked shaken. His voice was quiet when he spoke. In all my years as a doctor, in all my studies of medicine and science, I have never seen anything like that. Junho lowered his weapon. His hands were shaking. He had been in combat many times. He had faced death before. But this was different. This was braver than any soldier he had ever seen. Hours later, after the droll beast had been moved to a recovery room, Velthar found Taewon sitting alone in the observation area. The human looked exhausted but peaceful. I have a question, Velthar said. You call all of them buddy. Every patient, every creature. Why? Taewon smiled. Because that is what we are. Buddies. Friends. When you are friends with someone, you do not hurt them. You help them. You protect them. And they do the same for you. That droll beast could have killed me 100 times today, but it did not. Because we were buddies. Because it chose to trust me and I chose to trust it back. Velthar sat down next to him. My people have advanced medicine. We have incredible technology. We can cure diseases that would have been impossible 1,000 years ago. But we lost something along the way. We forgot that medicine is not just about fixing bodies. It is about caring for souls. It is not too late to remember, Taewon said. Velthar looked at the human. This simple creature from a young species had taught him more in a few months than he had learned in 70 years of study. Will you teach me? Will you show me how to do what you do? Of course, Taewon said. That is what buddies do. They help each other learn. And for the first time in his long life, Velthar felt like maybe he was finally becoming a real doctor, not just someone who fixed broken bodies, but someone who healed wounded hearts. Part 5-6 months had passed since Taewon saved the droll beast. The story had traveled far beyond Station Nexus 7. Ships brought the news to distant worlds. The human veterinarian who could heal the unhealable, the man who spoke to animals in a language everyone understood, but no one had remembered. The clinic had changed completely. Velthar worked alongside Taewon now, not above him. The alien doctor had learned to see patients as more than broken machines. He still used his advanced technology, but now he combined it with something new. Something he learned from watching Taewon. Compassion. Hyun had grown too. She now trained other young veterinarians who came from across the galaxy to learn the human method. She taught them that technology was important, but kindness was essential. One morning, a message arrived that would change everything. The Galactic Veterinary Council wanted to meet with Taiwan. They had a proposal. Taiwan, Hyun, and Velthar traveled to the council headquarters on a planet called Centralis. The building was massive, made of white stone and glass that reached toward the sky. Inside, representatives from hundreds of species gathered. The council leader was an ancient being whose species Taiwan could not identify. She spoke with a voice that sounded like music. "Dr. Kim, your work has not gone unnoticed. You have shown us something we had forgotten, that the oldest medicine is sometimes the best medicine. We wish to create a new training program, a program that teaches what you do, and we want you to lead it." Taiwan felt overwhelmed. "I am honored, but I am not a teacher. I am just a veterinarian who tries to help animals." Hyun touched his arm. "You have been teaching since the day we arrived. You taught me. You taught Velthar. You taught everyone who watched you work. You showed us that compassion is not primitive. It is essential." The council leader nodded. "The program would be based on Station Nexus 7. We would bring students from every member species. You would show them how to see patients not as problems to solve, but as beings who need care and respect." Before Taiwan could answer, alarms began to sound. A council member rushed into the room. "Forgive the interruption, but we have an emergency. Ambassador Velkaris's companion animal has fallen critically ill. The ambassador refuses all treatment except from Dr. Velthar. But Dr. Velthar is here with you." Velthar stood immediately. "I must go. Ambassador Velkaris is from my own species. It would be a great dishonor to refuse." They traveled quickly to the medical facility where the ambassador's companion was being held. The creature was small and delicate, with fur that changed colors like a sunset. It lay on a medical bed, barely breathing. Ambassador Velkaris was old, even by Velkari standards. She sat beside the creature with tears running down her blue face. "Please save her," she begged Velthar. "She has been with me for 40 years. She is more than a pet. She is my family." Velthar examined the medical scans. His forearms moved quickly across the screens, reading the data. Then he stopped. His face showed something Taiwan had never seen before. Fear. "What is wrong?" Taiwan asked quietly. Velthar pulled Taiwan aside. "The creature is dying from a psychosomatic condition. Her mind is giving up. All her organs are failing because she has lost the will to live. There was a traumatic incident last month. A fire in the ambassador's home. The creature has not been the same since, and can you treat it?" Taiwan asked. Velthar looked at his old teacher, the human who had changed his life. "No, I can fix bodies, but this creature does not have a physical problem. She has a spiritual one. She needs someone who can heal hearts, not just organs. She needs you." Taiwan approached the medical bed. The ambassador looked at him with suspicion. "A human? You want me to trust a human with my companion's life?" "Please, Ambassador," Velthar said. "I know it seems strange, but this human has taught me more about medicine than anyone in my 70 years of practice. If anyone can help your companion, it is him." The ambassador hesitated, then nodded. Taiwan sat beside the creature. He did not touch her yet. He just sat there, letting her know he was present. Then he began to speak softly. "Hello, little one. I know you are scared. I know you saw something terrible. Fire is frightening. It makes loud sounds and bright lights. It makes you feel like the whole world is dangerous." The creature's breathing changed slightly. She was listening. "But the fire is gone now. You are safe. The ambassador loves you so much. She is right here. She will always protect you. You do not have to be afraid anymore." For 3 days, Taiwan stayed with the creature. He barely slept. He barely ate. He just sat beside her, talking softly, reassuring her, helping her remember that the world could be safe and kind. Hyun brought him food and water. Velthar monitored the medical equipment. The ambassador watched everything. She saw how gently the human touched her companion. She heard his patient voice. She saw the tears in his eyes when the creature whimpered in fear. On the 4th day, something changed. The creature opened her eyes fully for the first time. She looked at Taiwan, then at the ambassador. Then she made a small sound, a happy sound. The ambassador rushed to the bedside. She spoke. She has not made a sound since the fire. The creature's vital signs began to improve. Her organs started functioning normally again. The medical monitors showed that she was healing. Not because of any medicine or technology, but because someone had helped her remember how to feel safe. Ambassador Velkaris looked at Taiwan with new eyes. I was wrong about you. About your species. You humans may be young in the galaxy. You may not have our advanced science, but you have something we lost long ago. You remember how to care. Word of this miracle spread even faster than the others. The Galactic Veterinary Council made their decision unanimous. They would create the training program. They would call it the Human Empathy Protocol, and veterinarians from every species in the galaxy would come to learn it. 1 year later, the clinic on Station Nexus 7 was the most famous medical facility in the galaxy. Students filled the halls. Teachers from 100 worlds taught both technology and compassion together. Yoon had opened her own clinic on a human colony world. She used everything Taiwan had taught her, helping creatures from Earth and beyond. Captain Jiwoo still visited regularly. Heralketh had healed completely, and now served as a gentle giant that children on the station loved to visit. The predator that everyone had feared had become a symbol of hope. Commander Junho Lee had changed careers. He now worked in animal welfare, protecting creatures across the galaxy from abuse and neglect. He said watching Taiwan work had changed his understanding of what strength really meant. The Drawl beast lived in a special habitat on the station. Its brain had healed as much as it could. Sometimes it still had difficult days, but Taiwan visited regularly, and the beast always calmed when it heard his voice. One afternoon, a new student arrived at the clinic. She was from a species known for being cold and logical. They believed emotions were weaknesses. She watched skeptically as Taiwan worked with a frightened creature. Velthar approached her. "Watch carefully," he said. "You are about to learn something your species forgot millennia ago." On the examination table, Taiwan knelt beside a wounded alien creature that trembled with fear. He reached out slowly and placed his hand on its side. Then he spoke those two simple words that had changed the galaxy. "Easy, buddy." The creature stopped trembling. It looked at Taiwan with wide eyes. Then it relaxed, trusting this strange human who spoke with such kindness. The new student stared in amazement. "How did he do that?" Velthar smiled. "That is what you are here to learn. Welcome to the future of medicine. Welcome to a place where we remember that healing is about more than fixing what is broken. It is about showing others they are not alone in their pain." Across the galaxy, in hundreds of clinics on thousands of worlds, veterinarians of every species were learning the same lesson. They were learning that the most advanced medicine is not always the newest technology or the most complex procedure. Sometimes, the most advanced medicine is also the oldest. Compassion, patience, and a gentle voice that says, no matter how different you are, no matter where you come from, no matter how scared or hurt you feel right now, you are not alone. You have a buddy, and buddies take care of each other. That was the lesson humanity brought to the stars. Not weapons or conquest, not even advanced science, but something more powerful than all of those things combined. The simple truth that every living being, no matter how strange or frightening they might seem, deserves kindness, deserves patience, deserves someone who will look at them and say those two magic words that work in every language. "Easy, buddy. You are going to be okay."